This is Dolany TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel. Today, well, let me tell you, let's grade some goalies, shall we? I think it's about that time of the year. We're 41 games into the NHL season, which, if you divide 82 by 41, you follow my math here? 82 divided by 41, I'll let you plug that into your phones. You're going to see that's 2. That's exactly 2. A full 2. What does that mean? There's 2 sets of 41 in 82. I know, I'm being a little ridiculous right now, I understand. But you get what I'm getting at. We're halfway through the NHL season, and now I'm trying to take a look today at some Edmonton Oilers goaltenders and give them a grade, because overall, this Oilers team has had some strong goaltending at times this year, as well as had some weak goaltending at times this year. So what I'll do right now is I'll load up my little helper graphics that I've got picked out for today's little assignment we're going to do here. If I can find it in there. I thought I had it. Mike Smith halfway through the 2019-2020 NHL season. Bang, bang. Need to get that going. And we'll start with Mike Smith because I think that's the topic everybody wants to jump in on in the comments, so let's get to it. As this is Mike Smith halfway through the 2019-2020 season. I'll give you his full stats in a while here, but Smith started the year 3-0, then went to 3-3-1, went to 5-3-1, and then went to 5-5-1, then 6-5-1, 6-6-1, 6-7-1, and then you see how it kind of goes downhill from there. As you know what, he's earned the loss in 4 of the last 6 games he's played. He's had a no decision in pretty much, well, 2 of the last 6 he's played, but he still has allowed a goal in every single appearance except for the Winnipeg shutout this season. That's the only big game he's had all year long, is that Winnipeg game where he turned away all 23 shots against from the Jets, in which we lost 1-0 in a shutout, and Connor Hellebuck also got a shutout. So that's the big bright spot for Mike Smith. Obviously starting 3-0 as well was really exciting for him, and then everything else has just been crap miserable. So Mike Smith, here's the thing, is to give him an overall grade, it's actually going to reflect better than what everybody would grade Mike Smith today. Separate this. I know there's a lot of bias out there saying Mike Smith's terrible, this and that. Separate it looking this way. We're not grading the past 3 weeks. We're not grading the past month. We are grading the full year. And grading Mike Smith for a full year of NHL hockey so far, through half a year, I guess you should say. Half year is the term I'm looking for. It's very simple. Look at it this way. He started the year good, and then things fell apart. So where do you grade? You probably grade a C-. And why I grade C- is it's you know what? Yes, I'd love to grade him a D or an F as a dud kind of deal, but here's the thing. Grading Mike Smith, look at it this way. We have the same goaltending coach we have had for 4 years. It's the same old problems we've had in Edmonton, but at the same rate is, you look at what Dave Tippett said today about the Oilers not practicing hard and that kind of stuff, and no compete level, no passion, no purpose in the game. Well, guess what? That reflects on the full team, not just the goalie. And these stats are only reflecting on the goaltender, Mike Smith, right now. You got to look at it this way, that a lot of these goals Mike Smith has let in this year in the past few games have been accredited to terrible defense, team effort, team situation, whatever you want to call it. There has been a lot of team issues that have contributed to these goals by Mike Smith. Now, the reason it's a C-, right? Obviously, if I'm going to say, well, it's 50 of one, 50 of the other, then it should be a solid C. The reason I say it's a C- is because since probably about that Pittsburgh game where he got key save after key save, Mike Smith has been totally unable to get the big save. All right, so that's the thing, is a goalie has to get the big save at the big time, and that's something Mike Smith has been incapable of doing in the past, since November 6th. He's been incapable of doing that since November 6th. So right there, guys, fun, dancy, fancy stats for you. That's Tyson digging the hard facts. All right, so shall we get to Mr. Mikko Koskinen? Actually, we'll get Mike Smith's full stats for the year up here in just a second, and then I'll get to Mikko Koskinen because obviously there's a lot to get to in Mikko Koskinen as well. So let me shrink that down, let me get that on the chart, and let's get this going, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Smith's full stats of the year. Here you go. This is what you need to know. The hard-hitting stuff for Mike Smith. He is 7-9-2 on the year. He's allowed, well, a 3.12 goals against average and an .893 save percentage. So that's tough. Like I said, C- because goaltending coach, because he gets the nod for the start he had. Other than that, it would be an F or a D as of late, and I think we can all agree on that. So let's not debate ourselves too much. Guys, if you're into this video this far, consider hitting that subscribe button. I haven't asked for this in a while, but if you're tuning in for the first time, I'd appreciate you sticking around, chatting with me in the comments. I know I haven't been answering comments as much lately, but just with the way it's going with the losing, I have my own thoughts, and it's just tough to get to everybody else and try and give answers when nobody wants answers, everybody wants heads. I can't serve you a head on a plate, so that's the tough part, but definitely consider subscribing because once we get rolling again, we'll be having a good time in the comments, let me tell you. All right, let's get to Mikko Koskinen, shall we? You know what, Mikko Koskinen, look at that. 5 W's in a row to start the year, then 2 losses. He only gets a loss in a decision against Detroit, which he then, well, you know what, 5-1, 5-1-1, then goes to 7-1-1, and then goes to 8-2-1, and things were good. 9-2-1, 8-3-1, 9-3-1, 9-4-1, 10-4-1, 10-6-1, 11-6-1, 11-7-1, 12-7-1, and then all of a sudden you've got 12-9-1 if I've got Mikko Koskinen's stats correct. Actually, I've got something turned around. It's 13-8-2 for Mikko Koskinen. That's what my eyesight is not the best, let me tell you. I do miss things once in a while, so there you go. 13-8-2 for Mikko Koskinen so far through the year. And again, for Mikko Koskinen, I think he gets the exact same grading system as Mike Smith is. He hasn't been as sharp as he was earlier in the year. That's just a given, right? You look at all those goal games. He didn't give up a 5-goal game till that Dallas overtime game. He didn't give up 4 goals or more. And now all of a sudden in the past couple of games he's had, since that Colorado game, he's had 4, 6, 4. So he hasn't been nearly as awful as Mike Smith, relatively speaking. But you look at it this way, right? Is Mikko's warrant a loss in Calgary? That one really stung. But again, let's take it this way. Same goalie coach. And of course, the team defense issue. You got to look at Mikko Koskinen overall as a player this season. I think, you know what, halfway through the year, you got to grade Mikko Koskinen, especially considering where he was this time last year. You know, the fall off came the second part of the year, but you know what, you'd expect the fall off to continue into this year. It hasn't. I'd be grading Mikko Koskinen a B+. You know what, I'm going to go with it. This is coming right off the top of my head. I'm doing this just reading the stats and giving you a grade. I'm going to go grade Mikko Koskinen a B+. The reason I'm going to grade Mikko Koskinen a B+ is simply, as I said with Mike Smith, is the ability to get the big save at the big time. Mikko has done that countless times. The problem is the Oilers have spoiled it countless times. So again, as I said, there's a couple of caveats here. And again, honestly, you know what? You take away the team stuff, maybe Mikko Koskinen's probably a C+. You have a C+ and a C-. Well, actually, it would be a C+ and a D or an F, however you want to grade. But Mikko Koskinen, all things considered, has been phenomenal for us this season. He's given us a chance pretty much every game he started except for, you know what, Calgary, again, team stuff. Carolina, you can say about Carolina what you will. Toronto, like, seriously, anything less than 4 goals is enough to win. And even that Dallas game where he gave up 5, that's enough to win. Colorado, that's about the only one you can start blaming him, but he made 50 shots against, 46 saves. So you see this, you see where I'm getting it. Like, I can sit here and try to argue the other way. Mikko Koskinen halfway through the year is a B plus goalie. Now, does that put him in the elite? No, that doesn't put him in the A minus A plus category. That puts him in a good starter quality category at B plus. That's really it. So, you know what? Realistically, from Mikko Koskinen, I've enjoyed what he's brought this year, and I'm very appreciative of it. Now, Mikko Koskinen, that said as well, take a look at this. His save percentage this season, pretty much halfway through the year, is .914, and then you've got a goals against of 276, which has improved by 0.17 points over his 55 game pace last year. Mikko Koskinen has played 1,412 minutes, which is about half of what he played last year in 55 appearances. He's had 11 quality starts in 25 games, so it's 500%, or 500, that's, sorry. And then you look at his quality start percentage last year, he had 47.1% quality start percentage. So for Mikko Koskinen, he has definitely improved over a thing, for sure. In 4 shots faced per team game needed to qualify. So Mikko Koskinen, here's the stat for you. Goals saved above average. The goals this goalie prevented, given his save percentage and shots faced, versus the league average save percentage on the same number of shots. Minimum 4 shots faced per team game needed to qualify. Mikko Koskinen last year was a minus 6.21. This year he's a 4 plus 4.40. Okay, that's interesting for Mikko Koskinen. Now, this year, by comparison, in the same category, Mike Smith is a minus 8.15. So, all right, let's put this all together. Fine and dandy, folks. I can grade Mikko Koskinen at a B+. We can grade Mike Smith at a C-, a D, and F, whatever you want to. What does it all come down to? Where does this Oilers goaltending rank this season? And you know what? Just as with everything else on the team outside of McDavid and Draisaitl's offensive numbers, it's a C. It's average. And that's okay. You know what? Average goaltending isn't going to sink you, and average goaltending isn't going to win you the cup. But right now, average goaltending has kept us afloat. And that's the big part is, you know what? As long as we survive December, it gets a little bit easier in January in terms of how many games we have to play. We get that big break, we get the big horses ready to go, and we get back to it. So guys, let me know in the comments section below. Do you agree Mikko Koskinen B+? Do you agree Mike Smith C- based on everything else? Like I said, I'm full well willing to grade Mike Smith as a D and F, but his performance as a goalie is a C- caveat to the team and goaltending coach situation in my mind. Just is what it is. And again, Mikko Koskinen probably a solid C+, but B+ in my mind, given the situation in front of them. Guys, let me know. I'm Tyson, this is Stolny TV. I will catch you in the next one. Oop, if I can get out of here, hold on.